Yeah.
And we are here.
This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna
You
be.
still want to
I
talk
just
about?
want to know the. I just want to know the backstory of how all this shit happened. Because when I heard this album, I'm like, yo, are you fucking kidding me? You know what I mean?
Ink.
Like this could have been huge for this artist, and I don't get it, yo. I didn't even until you told me about it. I didn't even know this album existed,
Yeah, keep it on the
and
down low for right now.
it's not out, right? It's shelved.
It's shelved. I I didn't know it existed until I
Right.
read her
So
book.
it's so that it
Yeah.
says so it's not anywhere on vinyl or CD or anything.
No. They are planning on releasing it very soon, but
That is great.
they have to go through some rights and stuff.
So is the artist aware of that? Are they is the artist releasing it too or no?
I believe so. I'm gonna let you know. I got you.
Yeah. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. Mike was good.
And
Mike
we
was
still
good
want
last night. We gotta do more of that.
yes.
Huh?
You still want to talk about power, right?
Yeah.
All right. We can just squeeze those two together because I got a lot of shit I gotta handle tonight before I go to bed. It's my days off. I'm happy.
Man.
Guess what show I'm watching?
What's that?
Head of the class.
Oh wow.
Right.
Head of the class. Head in the class. It should be the point. Head in the class.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent show. Not really one of my favorites, but pretty decent.
Yeah, I watched it once in a blue.
Yeah. One thing I liked about the show, the kids were actually smart.
Right. Well, what show
And
you watch where the kids were dumb?
um, like Welcome Back, Cotter.
The kids were dumb on Welcome Back Kotter?
They were in remedial classes. They flunked. Yeah, they were dumb as fuck.
I don't remember that.
Because I was thinking about I was thinking about when we get like the fall time, either reviewing Welcome Back, Cotter
Uh-huh.
or head of the class. Do like a little back to
Right.
school kind of thing. I don't know yet.
Back to school. It don't feel the same for a nigga like me.
Same.
It's just September now.
Right. Just trying to do some different shit this year.
Yeah.
We're gonna start in about 10 more minutes.
All right.
I was supposed to have done an interview with R&B representatives, but they didn't hit me up yet.
Another one?
Yeah,
Oh wow. But they didn't release the first joint yet though.
that's weird.
Yeah, because they backed up. Like I know they have like a line a schedule. So it should be sometime this month or next month they release your episode.
Got you.
For me, they take long. Like when I did the last one I did for Black Ivory, that shit was like I think I filmed that in December and it came out like last month.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, I know they do a lot of shows. So Dark Mouth said Kimberly Russell was she was hot. And so was Robin Givens. But even that couldn't save the show. That show lasted a couple years too, right?
It lasted 5 seasons.
5 seasons, yeah. That's a long time for to and it's not really a fan favorite like that for a lot of people.
Well, that's because it was rarely on syndication. It didn't really come back to syndication 2 years ago.
Right.
Then they just recently dropped the complete series, and then that show's now on streaming. Then they had a short-lived reboot on HBO Max. So
They
some
did? That a reboot of Predator Class?
yeah, Robin Givens was in it, but it got canceled
When was that?
like 2021, 2022.
I didn't even
Like
hear. I didn't see no promotion for it.
yeah, because it was on the pandemic.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, if your shit wasn't getting promoted during the pandemic, then it must have been really bad. I did not know that. Angela Bassett went to Yale. Nice.
But I also think, to be real with you, it don't get that much love because of Dan Schneider's creepy ass.
Dan
'Cause,
Snyder?
yeah,
Who's that? Which one?
he he was the guy that played Dennis. He also made all those shows in Nickelodeon, all that shit that came out about him in these past couple of years and stuff. So
What did he do? What did he did like what right like he molested women or something?
yeah, he pretty much like had inappropriate behavior with children back in the Nickelodeon days.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
What is it with these Dan? There's another Dan Snyder, the owner of the Redskins, who, oh, not the Redskins, the Commanders, who he had to sell the Commanders because he got caught for the same shit, for the sexual misconduct at the workplace
yeah.
for the NFL, and now you got I think it's I want to say Magic Johnson. Somebody is buying the Commanders in the NFL. It's like a whole bunch of it's a whole group. It's crazy. Two Dan Snyder's out because of the same shit.
Wow, that's the
Don't
irony.
don't name your kid Dan Snyder because they more than likely gonna grow up to sexually molest somebody.
And
Guess
plus,
what, Greg? Huh?
Howard Hessman didn't even like the show.
You didn't like the show?
Nah, because at first, because he was originally he was on WKRP in Cincinnati,
Right.
and so he came on this show. He pretty much they thought it was going to be like a grounded show, but then over the seasons it got more broader with its jokes, and he left the show before the show was even over. So they replaced his character with Billy Connolly's character and shit.
Interesting.
And I read and I watched some interviews from some of the cast. They said that some of them he was gone.
Sam said, "Guess Geezer Butler is the bass player from Black Sabbath." Who the fuck is Geezer Butler?
He's one of the greatest heavy metal bassists of all time.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know because I don't listen to heavy metal. So Geezer Butler, that's his name.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I'm
what's
pretty sure
up.
Reggie already knew that since you listen to Black Sabbath.
Yes, sir. Get ready for some Black Sabbath reviews this year.
Oh Lord, he's insisting on having on torturing me.
Well, you never actually listened to Black Sabbath, so
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I might not like them more than likely.
you well,
You never know.
you
We'll
never
see.
know.
We'll see.
'Cause
There might be like one album I like, and then the other things, the rest of their discography I hate. So
I'm gonna be real with you. The shit from 1970 to 1976 are their best albums. And then when Ozzy got fired and then Dio came to the group, those two albums with Geezer with Dio were good, but then after that it was just shit. I'm just gonna be
I
real
just
with you.
want to know when we gonna discuss Green Day.
We can do that on your channel, but not on my channel. If
My
some
one of the
like
uh, one of the best punk rock groups ever.
yo,
Yeah,
my fault, my laptop was being stupid, but
one of the best punk rock groups ever.
the devil is a liar.
Green Day Hall of Famers.
Of course, my laptop wants to be a stupid dick. Ugh. Um, it's crazy because that Police album. Like I said, I'm still not the biggest fan of them, but there was some joints I'll be bumping on the low from that album.
You like the Police now.
And I never said I like the Police. I just said I like that certain songs from them.
Sam said I think Black Flag and Bad Brains is better than Green Day.
I agree.
I like Bad Brains, but I grew up with more Green Day than them. You know. Now, if you ask me now, like Green Day, I don't even think they're making their best music no more. I think they not even a shell of themselves. But give me '90s Green Day, '90s and 2000s Green Day.
Oh my fucking god, what is going on with you? Thank you. All right, we're gonna start about 5 more minutes. By the way, I'm gonna get a few albums this week.
Okay. Sam said Insomniac. I thought you didn't like Green Day. Insomniac is his favorite Green Day album.
Flip flop.
So I'm more of a American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown, and even the triple album they did. I felt like I don't think they should have did that though. Like release all the triple album all at the same time. But those three albums had some joints in it. Anything after that is like I tuned out because I don't like I said I don't feel like they're making their best music anymore. You know what I'm saying? I think after the Uno Dos Tres album, it was like they started to tail off for me, and they still releasing shit. I believe they working on a new album or something.
Well, I never cared for them, so it
Yes,
don't matter.
we know you don't care for Green Day. I get it.
Now finally, my fries are here. All right, got my hair together. All right, I'm ready to start whenever you are.
Broke, I'm broke. Okay, broke. While you're there being broke, subscribe to the channel so you can check out some of the best content on YouTube from yours truly.
Yeah, I have a channel too, but I'm suspended,
Yeah,
so I'm using this channel.
and you can wait till Reg get out of YouTube jail to check out his channel. I have a feeling he's gonna get right back into jail before the end of the year.
I'm not.
I hope not. Let Eric seems to be the one that loves going in and out of YouTube jail. Yo, Coogee, what's good?
What's good, everybody? Welcome to an episode of our hip hop. Excuse me. This is gonna be our surprise review. That's the boy Reg in the building on Try's channel. I got my boy Try with me. What's up, boy?
Yo.
All right, so I know what you guys are thinking. Aren't we supposed to have a Mariah Carey review? Well, that's going to be rescheduled for Tuesday because I want to get Ashley on that. But at the same time, just because we're not doing Daydream today, that does not mean I don't have Mariah Carey content today.
Right.
And I did slightly mention this in the past, but I'm just looking at myself like, well, you know what? I was originally going to save this for the second stretch of Mariah albums, but due to intriguement, we decided to talk about this one today. And the Mariah Carey content we are going to talk about, y'all gonna y'all gonna be I'm trying to share the album cover, but okay, thank you.
I'm you're supposed to be able to share it on here.
I am. It's just my laptop is being a dick right
Oh,
now.
okay.
All right, we're going to talk about Chick, someone's ugly daughter. Now, this was supposed to have came out September 5th. Well, it did come out, but we're going to talk. We're going to talk about it. So I know what you guys are thinking. What the hell is this? What the hell is
Hold up.
this?
It came out, or I thought it was shelved.
I mean, from what I'm looking up, it came out, but Columbia didn't really promote it, so they quickly took it off shelves.
Yeah, I never saw it in the stores.
Yeah, 'cause I thought it was shelved at first, but I'm just pulling up my notes I did earlier
Right.
and stuff like that too. But yeah, so I know what you guys are thinking. What the hell is Chick? So this was the alternative rock album that Mariah Carey did with her friend Clarissa Dane.
A rock
Under the
album by Mariah Carey. Y'all heard that? Rock album, not R&B or pop. This is rock.
This is what she did alongside Daydream. It came out with two singles, Malibu and what? Demented. Yeah. No guest appearances. The producers on this album was Chick. Hold on, right quick. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Girl, you out of your fucking mind. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
So yeah, let me tell you a story with this album.
Uh-huh.
So she was working on this while she was recording Daydream, Cough Cough, her magnum opus. Stay tuned on that Tuesday. And she actually did the original lead vocals, but at the same time, Columbia Records, they did not feel like it was going to be best suitable for her. They felt like it was too experimental and shit like that too. So as a way to get them off their back, she got her friend Clarissa Dane to provide leading vocals, while at the same time she kept her own background vocal on the tracks. And so this album, like I think, like from what I looked up, Columbia didn't really have too much confidence when it came to this record right here. So what they did was they try to lowball the album. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? They try to like quickly take it out. They try to like quickly take it out the shelves and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this album got quickly forgot about until Mariah Carey did release a fucking autobiography
Right.
and shit too. So she had a label. I mean, she had a label at the time called Crave Records and shit too.
Mm-hmm.
And while she had that label back in '03, she stated that she was ready to like. She was talking about how um she was talking about certain songs on this record and shit like that too. And it got crazy too because the album ended up becoming lost for a while.
Right.
If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? So she spent pretty much most of the 2000s looking for that record.
Mm-hmm.
And so Mariah, she stated that she was looking for the original recording. It wasn't until fast forward to December of 2020, she confirmed that she found a version with her vocals, but she was still looking for the original board mixes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So this was pretty much like she kind of created like her own alter ego with this album right here.
Sure did.
You know, you said what?
I said she sure did.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna be real with you. Like there were songs you would not even recognize that it was Mariah.
Yeah, I was listening to the album. I'm like, what, I if that's her singing lead, I can't tell because it don't sound like her.
Yeah. Like she definitely tried to do that.
Yeah. this has a Joan Jett and the Blackhearts for sound to it.
Right. Yes, yes. Um, so like I mentioned before, you know what I'm saying? This they didn't really promote this album on the radio like that. And even the critics, they didn't really know what to think of this album at that time too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if I'm gonna be real, the best way to describe this album is pretty much Mariah Carey getting into that whole alternative rock sound. You know what I'm saying? That kind
Right.
of post grunge, whatever you want to
Hmm.
call it, that Atlantis Morissette kind of thing right
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Definitely gonna try something different. She was definitely trying something different with this record and stuff too. You know what
But
I'm
but you know what? I think she was already a huge star by the time Daydream came out. I think people would have accepted it. They would have been shocked because they would have been like, "Damn, Mariah's doing rock." They would have been shocked at the same time. I know I would have been shocked. 'Cause I was shocked when I heard the album, but I think they would have accepted it and they would have been like, "Yo, like she can go in another lane. This is dope." We never really had a pop star going in a different direction with their music like that. You know what I'm saying?
saying? Right.
So I think they Columbia dropped the ball with this.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be the first time that they dropped the ball on
Right.
something Mariah related and shit too. So
Mm.
and that's the fucked up part about it.
Right.
Yeah. So like I said before, that's the main reason why I wanted to do this album because like Clarissa Dane, she was more the one doing most of the lead vocals. Mariah
Okay.
still doing like the background vocals and stuff too. So
Right.
all right, so this album has 11 songs. Let's get this shit started.
Yeah.
Track number one we got is a song called Joe. Um, like I said, like when it comes to this album, pretty standard track right here. This song right here was just her have that traditional 90s guitar driven alternative rock right there and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I liked it. I feel like it was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Pretty dope song and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Pretty cool. I like it.
I think it was a good song to start off the album, and with the song Joe, they were talking about like a guy molesting his daughter,
Yes.
and he was abusing the mother, and this could have been a single. You know, I felt like it was a very interesting song and with the subject matter, and I could definitely had seen a video for this.
Yeah. It could have definitely been a single and shit too. Cause at that time there was like a lot more artists speaking out against, things like this in
Right.
that capacity, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
pretty interesting track.
Yeah.
Track number two, Love is a Scam. Might be my favorite song off this album. One of my favorite songs. You know what I'm saying? Self-explanatory song. They believe that love is just a four-letter word that don't really mean a lot of feeling or emotions and whatnot too. I love the singing and vocalizing
Mhm.
when it came to this song right here. Definitely a favorite and a highlight.
And this is like one of those like fuck love anti songs. Like there's a lot of those songs we heard from groups. Like Hole and Joan Jett in the in that genre, and I love the beat. And it was just like girls get their heart broken and they like they're done with guys. Fuck love, and I enjoyed it.
Definitely. Track number three, Violent. Um, Honestly, the reason I like the song more was because the vocalizing that was on this track.
Hmm.
It's not really one of my favorites to keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? But I did respect like what they were trying to do. It's just talking about a relationship going wrong. Just talking about how, they get physical with one another. You know what I'm saying? So this was an okay track.
It's one of my favorites. The guitars on it, the beat, and the lyrics. Like we used to be like Chachi and Joni, but now you act like so fucking phony. It was like you know being in a relationship and the other person is acting funny and different and you fed up with them, and it was like one of those type of songs, and I enjoyed it.
Definitely. Next track is Malibu. I didn't care for this record. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't care for this one. And that's mostly to do with the instrumentation. Uh, like a lot of alternative rock in the mid to late '90s. Some of them was okay, but this is one of my least favorite ones.
This one I didn't like. It sounded too like Blink 182 ish. You
Yeah,
know, it was too emo, that emo rock. You know what I'm saying? And they mentioned something about Barbie and Ken. I'm like, well, shit, you got a Barbie movie that's out now. This would have went well with that movie. Well, it's coming out, I believe. But yeah, I didn't care for this one. I don't think it fit the album with the rest of the other songs. Some of these other songs were dark.
right. Give me 1 second. Yeah, some of these, like I said, I don't, and you know me, I don't mind dark material,
Right.
but I just gotta. Sometimes it just all gotta blend out well. It can't just be overly, overly dark and shit like that. That way, because like that's one of the main reasons I don't care too much for Smashing Pumpkins like that. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Because again, they have some cool songs. 1979 was cool, but a lot of that shit was just kind of depressing. It was like a poor man's Pink Floyd, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm gonna be real
well,
with you.
what about Jimi Hendrix? You don't think his music was depressing, or the Doors?
Hell no.
Really?
Hendrix has some ballads, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about Hendrix though. He had a versatility when it comes to the subject matter. Sometimes he has some depressing shit, but at other times he'll have some other introspective shit. And then he'll have like some upbeat songs like "You Got Me Floating" from the Actors album. I would even say "Voodoo Child," like "Slight Return."
Mhm.
As for the Doors, okay, I can see where somebody would say, yeah, their music can be a bit dark. But again, there was so many dimensions to the Doors that it wasn't just always dark with them. There was the poetry, it was the mysticalness of the songs and stuff like that too.
Right.
And at the same time, too, Jim Morrison, he can easily just tell a story just by a simpler tone with his voice and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But like groups like Smashing Pumpkins, what's that other group? What's that other alternative rock group? Yeah, I can't think right now. But it'll come back to me. But yeah, like if it's not like a lot of content there, I have no use for it though. That's the thing.
Some of the best bands that do dark music were great. Linkin Park, Stain,
Yes,
Korn. I love them.
Linkin Park. Yes, they were very good with that shit too. Because at the same time, they grew as musicians. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? They grew as musicians and songwriters and
And they, and,
whatnot.
and their albums were different every time they came out. They don't have like an album that sounded the same.
Exactly. And you mentioned Corn too, right?
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. With Corn, I'm mostly a fan of the first two albums, the self-titled and the one with Freak on the Leash. I think that's the
yeah.
one.
Follow the leader.
Uh, oh, the leader, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like again with them, I feel like they peaked with that Follow the Leader album, in my
Right.
personal opinion. I felt like they tried so hard to make another Follow the Leader that it didn't really work out for them. And
Right.
they ended up getting too weird for the public, in my opinion.
Sam said Alice in Chains, Life is Peachy.
Oh, Alice in Chains. Now you talking about one of my favorite
Nirvana.
grunge
Even
groups.
Nirvana did it well too.
Yeah, but at the same time, Nirvana they would have some depressing songs, but they also had some angry songs too. You know what I'm saying?
That's all Kurt
Alice,
right there.
you said what?
That's all Kurt right there.
Yeah, but at the same time, even with Alice in Chains, I feel like Alice in Chains they did it the best out of all the '90s grunge groups, in my personal opinion. Like, because they were talking about a lot of shit, not a lot of grunge groups were talking about. Like the song "Rooster," for instance, they were talking about like soldiers in the Vietnam War, and
Right.
it's how much they felt like mentally decapitated by like shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they definitely were probably the most artistic out of the grunge group, but that's one of the main reasons why next to Nirvana, they might be my favorite grunge group of all time. But
Nice.
yeah, but back to this album though. Malibu, yeah, they didn't really care for this record. You know what I'm saying? Track number 5, Demented. This was a cool song right here. You know what I'm saying? This song right here was like it's pretty much again one of those like typical conventional alternative rock songs in like the mid to late '90s. Well, I'll say mid '90s because it's 1995 and shit.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? The fucking imagery with some of the songwriting I definitely loved. In my opinion, I feel like some of the imagery definitely made up for it, and dope singing as well too. So yeah,
This played out. This was like a vampire song. Like if we put this song in like Bram Stoker's Dracula or the Forsaken or something, one of those vampire films from the '90s, like it would have fit right in. You know, it was really dark and I love the beat, and they were just singing I crave you, and yeah, this was like one of the most darkest songs on the album.
yeah, definitely one of the most darkest songs and shit. Um, Next song we got is Freak. Very interesting song right here. And again, this is like another one of those songs that, is talking about, self image and especially kind of ahead of its time for
Right,
1995 too. So they tell a story about how they were friends with this midget who was quote unquote shorter than Elward Jetson. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And everybody used to make fun of everybody used to make fun of him because he was short. He didn't bathe for 8 weeks at a time. You know what I'm
Jesus.
saying? Right. And next thing, but at the same time, she's still cool with him. But then you get to the second verse, and it's like she met a drag queen who looked like a little bit like Gilda in a dress.
Right.
Uh, I don't know if they're talking about Gilda Wagner. I don't know if they're talking about Gilda Wagner for Saturday Night
Saturday Night
Live.
Live.
I
Yeah.
don't know. You know what I'm saying? But then she had like a very hairy chest. You know, again, this is Mariah Carey. This is Mariah
This is
Carey.
Mariah Carey.
Your
Yes.
Christmas. This is the mother of Christmas and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yo, you know how yo, man, Columbia dropped the ball with this. That's all I gotta say.
What, what,
Because
what,
she could have been on like some fuck pop music and go into this album, and she probably would have been loved by the rock community.
it's kind of crazy though because I'm gonna talk more about that once I give my final
Mhm,
thoughts. But yeah, man, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Princess the Black album
mhm.
to a sense, but it's different because the label was not dissatisfied with the Black album. Prince was because he felt
Right,
there was plenty of stories. Some people said that there were stories that he had an ecstasy trip
right,
one night, and he felt like the music was too dark, and it was like a very crazy night because he did the album originally for Sheila E's birthday party,
hmm,
and there was other people that said that he felt like the album was not good enough,
right.
especially up to par with like Sign of the Times, which I'm gonna be honest, I feel like that was just as good as Sign of the Times in my personal opinion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
So
and I used to hear that he would make like full albums and songs and then scrap it.
yeah,
Wow.
like the album The Rave Unto Fantastic,
Yeah.
that album was originally supposed to have came out back in 1988, but it was a different track listing. Like the
Wow.
song Pink Cashmere, song Pink Cashmere from the hits and the B-sides, that
Uh-huh.
was recorded for those sessions.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But the rave album is still a very dope album. It's not one of my favorites from Prince, but
Yeah.
it's overhated. It's one of those overhated
I
albums.
remember when that came. That's when he had signed with Arista.
Yeah, Crip Keeper
I
Clive.
remember when
Yeah,
that came out. When he came out, when that came out, he he was on Good Morning America, and they were promoting that album. And
he
of
was
course, they had
doing
like the
interviews out of his ass that era. He
yeah.
was on
He did.
TRL.
Yes, he was on TRL. He did. They had like the big billboard in Times Square. I remember when it came out, but I never bought it. I never heard it.
Because the thing with Prince, he said that he wanted to get the same success as Carlos Santana. Because you remember,
Right.
in the '80s,
The Supernatural joint.
Supernatural,
Yeah.
overrated Supernatural album.
Oh my god, I can't believe you. That album is one of his best. I don't know what
I
you're talking about.
I disagree.
What the fuck?
I'm a
Out of
I'm,
his latter albums, that's like probably his best album
you're
in
right.
modern Santana era.
You're right.
I'm
But
not saying it's better than a Braxis and the other albums. I'm just saying in
okay.
like the his latter albums for his latter career, I think that's his best one.
Well, I'm more of a '70s
Right.
Santana
Yeah,
nigga.
70 Santana was great. Yeah.
I've heard some of the shit from the '80s. Again, he was experimenting a lot with those and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? But Supernatural. I remember
Mhm.
growing up as a kid. I used to hear songs like Maria, Maria,
I love that song.
Smooth. Oh, I hated. Even as a
Smooth.
kid,
See, I wasn't a Matchbox 20 fan, but I know of them and Rob Thomas, and they did overplay that song. But then when you get to the rest of the album and you hear the joint that Everlast did, the joint that CeeLo was on, you didn't like the Everlast song?
I didn't like
That's
hardly anything from
that's
that
like
album.
Whitey Ford Everlast right there.
Yeah, I like that album though. That was a hot album.
Right.
But
You get
like I
to
said, I'm gonna
Maria, the song that CeeLo was on. I love that album. I think that album was great.
give me Abraxas, give me self-titled, give
Mhm.
me the one from '73. I think Blanca, whatever that shit is.
Right.
Um, I'll even take the joint after that one and stuff too. I think it was
Mhm.
called Volume 3, Volume one of those shits. But
Oh,
it's the same thing I have with Eric Clapton too, because I
mhm.
feel like Clapton after Slow Hand from 1977, I feel like he was very hit or miss too.
Right.
But then he dropped that one album back in '89, which I liked. I think the Journeyman that was like his best one post Slow Hand in my opinion. But
Right.
yeah, let's get back to this album and shit. Um, so yeah, so when it comes to Freak, the third verse, they were talking about how she met this lady with a beard like Rip Van Winkle and
Mhm.
shit too. You know what I'm saying? And she said that she couldn't tell that she was black, white, or chartreuse because he had so much that you couldn't really see her face and stuff. So I want to say the moral of this song is don't judge books by its covers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like everyone's different in their own way, no matter how they look. I feel like that was a very dope message too.
And that is still a topic that goes on now, especially when you look on social media and you see these fake IG models and people complaining about how they look and they want to change their appearance. You know what I'm saying? And I think this song had a message in it as well, and it was telling people like enjoy be proud of who you are and how God made you. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And don't be don't worry about what you see on TV and well now it'll be like don't worry about what you see on social media and be proud of who you are and how you were made. You know what I'm saying? So
right. All right. So next track is Agony. Again, next to Love is a Scam. This is actually one of my favorite songs on this album as well too. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those fucking depression kind of songs, you know. Very, very, very dope. I love the instrumentation and guitar on this track right here. You know what I'm saying? So again, definitely a very hot track right here.
I enjoyed this. One of my favorite songs on here. Really love the beat for that, the bass line. It's really like a hard rock track, and it's still amazing that Mariah Carey had anything to do with this album. It's crazy, but this was dope.
Definitely. All right, next track, Surrender. This is a cover of the Cheap Trick song. I think they dropped this back in 1978. Um, always loved this song. Cheap Trick, definitely a very, very dope rock band. I mostly like them shits from the 70s, maybe early
Right.
80s and shit too, you know what I'm saying? Dream Police, Surrender, I Want You to Want Me, classic songs right there, you know what I'm saying? They were definitely a hard rock, but with a pop sensibility. If that they were
Right.
like people like to call them power pop and shit too. I'm not mad about that, but this cover, not a bad rendition, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely felt like it was definitely a nice cover right here too, you know what I'm saying? Surrender, definitely need to get some Trick albums in the future.
This was a great song. They're saying, mommy's all right, daddy's all right. They just seem a little weird. Surrender,
Surrender,
but don't give away. Yeah, the guitars in here was phenomenal. The beat, I enjoyed it.
definitely. All right, next track is Hermit. Um, very interesting song too. You know what I'm saying? Just talking about how one needs to be keep it to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what a hermit is.
Man,
Very dope. I love the songwriting on, excuse me, on this track. Not a bad record.
this was good. I love the beat for this, and the guitar. The guitars on here was good.
Yes. Next track is Prom Queen. Okay, what is up with these singers doing a song called Prom Queen when they want to go rock? Because Lil Wayne did it on the Rebirth album as
That
well
was
too. You
trash.
know what I'm saying?
He
But
was trying to do a rock album. It didn't work for him.
that whole album was trash. And
That whole album was bad.
the thing that album came right after Carter 3. I'm just like, yeah, this
To
was
to,
like the
to,
beginning of
to think the record label greenlit that release, but Columbia Records didn't want to release this. I don't understand that.
yeah. That was the beginning of the end for Wayne. I hate to say it.
Yeah, yeah.
I hate to
he
say it.
he was in his little skateboard. He was promoting Mountain Dew. He was in his little skateboard bag. He was wearing supper sneakers and shit. He thought he was a skateboarder. He thought he was a rock star, and he was this. He was experimenting, and it didn't work with that album.
Nah.
And I remember that when that shit came out, he did a song with Weezer for one of their albums during that time.
Yeah.
I'm like
That was
I'm
when
like
they got back together and shit.
I'm like Weezer. I'm like, what you doing?
Weezy and Weezer.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't like Rockstar Weezy. Give me Carter 3 Weezy. That's when he was in his bag. You know. This was a good song. Another song with a message. And I think this song would have caused some controversy. Like just
Yeah.
with their lyrics or whatever.
The trans community and
And
shit.
yeah, right. They're talking about like a boy that was dressing in his mother's prom dress and he wore his sister's makeup and shit.
Yeah.
And the message that they're saying in the song was like, you can be anything you want, and that would have caused some controversy if that came out back in when was this, like 95, 96?
Yeah, 95.
Wow. So yeah.
Yeah, man. And like I said before, with like look at songs like this compared to like Logic's that Suicide song he came out
Right.
with the years ago and shit, and how big that song was in the video.
Right.
Yeah,
But them
could have
saying
caused like a lot
about
of
like them saying about like a boy cross dressing. I don't know if if it would have been accepted at that time though. Yeah.
it would have been kind of taboo.
Yeah. People were closed minded,
It would
definitely.
have been
They
very,
wasn't ready.
yeah. And the last track, Stork Orphan in My Room. Um, This was a pretty interesting track as well too. You know what I'm saying? Self-explanatory. Just an orphan longing for his parents, longing for their parents and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? How they feel alone in the world without that real parental love. I felt it was a nice deep record, nice way to end off the album.
I enjoyed it. Definitely nice beat, and it was a great way to end the album off. You had a lot of songs on here that was touching on different topics, and
Yeah.
Columbia really fumbled the ball on this.
Oh yeah. All right. So overall thoughts on this album. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be 100% real, like I always am. This is an album that one has to get used to. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that this is a bad record, because there was some very, very, very great shit on this album. I like the fact that Mariah was definitely trying to experiment more. You know what I'm saying? Like again, think of albums like Tina Marie's Emerald City.
Hmm.
Um, I would even say Diana Ross's Swept Away album,
Right.
and shit like that. Princess the Black album. Think of it. Think of it like more of experimenting, if that makes it, just a more experimental album. And again, this is like a duo album with her and her friend Clarissa. I feel like it definitely, if it was released, it definitely could have brought her a new audience, especially when it came to like the whole alternative rock crowd. And then mind
Right.
you, she dropped Daydream that year too, and that was a
That
very
same year.
that same year, which again we're going to
That's
talk about it
crazy.
on Tuesday.
So she
Um,
she she did two albums at the same time.
yes,
Crazy.
very crazy and shit like that. You know what I'm
That is
saying?
crazy for real.
Um, do I feel like the label dropped the ball with this album? I definitely
Yes.
do, but I'm not going to hold you either. I feel like they were not ready for this album, because whether people want to see it or not, and I want everyone to just listen to what I'm about to say. Mariah Carey, as a black woman doing alternative rock at that time, might have would raise a few eyebrows. But
Probably.
look at artists today like SZA, her, you know what I'm saying, who artists that flirted with that whole alternative style. Look, hell, SZA's recent album is was more of a rock album than an R&B album. To keep it real with you, you know what
Right.
I'm saying. So, and that album took years to come out after Control. That it took
Right.
years to come out. I think she had like a lot of label issues too.
Right.
Stay tuned for a review on that album. Just letting y'all know. Stay tuned. But this is definitely an album I would re-listen to a couple of times.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying, just to fully appreciate the genius of it.
Right.
I'm gonna give this album a 4 out of 5.
Nice. Nice.
There's like
Sam's.
maybe 2 songs I just could have done without, but I'm good on that. After re-listening to it, I'm good on that.
There's the album, Sam. The full all 11 songs for anybody that want to hear it. That's the album on YouTube. Check it out.
Share it on your community tab too.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
was, but I'm suspended.
I this album Columbia dropped the ball with this album definitely. So the fact that a pop probably the best pop singer at that time, she did two albums in 1 year, and Daydream was probably the I don't want to say the best album of '95, but one of the best. And when you hear this album, is like it's not even it don't even sound like the same person. It
It
sounds
don't.
like somebody else. And I like it because at that time, like we had some of the best alternative rock to come out during the '90s. You know what I'm saying? And especially when it came like the female artists, Sheryl Crow and Alanis Morissette. You had
That's
Four
fair.
Non Blondes. You had Hole. Luscious Jackson, Liz Fair. There's a lot of females in rock that came out at that time, and I think people would have been shocked, but I think our true fans would have checked out the album, and they would have supported it. They would have been they and I think you know what I think part of it is I think Columbia knew what they had with this and they were scared that Mariah was gonna leave pop to go to rock. And they didn't
Or
want
leave
that.
on. Yeah.
They didn't want that because that was like one of their cash cows at that time for the label and you know, if she had said, you know, the hell with pop music, she was going to rock, that would have they would have felt some type of way. You know, and
I
but I think she would have been embraced by the rock community, you know, especially like for the females, like to see like yo a pop singer like Mariah Carey, you know, doing rock music. I think a lot of females would have embraced her. You know, they might have wanted to work with her too, and that would have opened up other doors for other fan bases that she wasn't able to reach besides pop music and R&B hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely enjoyed this album. I thought the instrumentation was good and the different topics of the songs were good as well. And I like songs like Demented and Violent, Prom Queen, Love is a Scam. I'm gonna give it 4 mics. I hope they release it because I know you said something about she's planning on releasing it.
Yeah, if she find like the right version of it and gets it
The right
straightened out.
version. Well, how many versions they did for the album?
Two, but I think there's like some other shit they have to do, like some mixing, more
Oh,
mixing they have to do. But I gotta finish reading her book also too,
but
because
it sounds great. The YouTube, I don't know who got it on who uploaded it to YouTube, but the YouTube version sounds great. So um, if people love Mariah Carey and they want to hear her do alternative rock, check out the album. If you don't want to hear pop Mariah and rock Mariah, you might like this more than any of her other albums that she's done.
interesting.
I definitely enjoyed it, and I hope she does release it. I definitely would like to get a copy of this.
Yes. All right. So Daydream is gonna be Tuesday at 8 o'clock, like I mentioned before. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about Power. By the way, after you're done with this review, you can just rename it after this album and say
Okay,
this review / Power
right.
thoughts, stuff like that
And,
too. You know what I'm
and
saying?
Chick, and people gonna be like, "Who the fuck is Chick?"
Yeah. Just say Mariah. Let's say Mariah's rock album.
Mariah rock album, and they were like, "Huh, Mariah Carey?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Okay. All right. So Power Book 2 Season 3 thoughts. This is actually the second time we actually do the TV review live and stuff too. So I don't know. I know this season was a bit controversial with fans. Some people liked the final episode, but then there was the leaks. That then it's like a lot of things happened this season. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be real with you. So let's talk about it. So Tyreek and Effie are pretty much boyfriend and girlfriend when the season started. You know what I'm saying? But Effie was the one who fucking fucked up the what's her name, Lauren, and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And so
my god.
also, Braden got kicked out of school because he took the rap for the whole drug situation with that Crash app, or the app that they were using and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit happened. So I'm just gonna run down like the main points, and then we're just gonna give our thoughts. What else? Monet was still dealing with Zeke's death. We all know from the second season finale that Lorenzo killed what's his name Zeke because he thought that was Mecca. He thought that Mecca was going away with Monet and shit too. And then Monet got mad and she got Gordo, which was like I think like their family friend or whatever. I don't know, whatever, like something like that. And to kill Lorenzo. And then you had Diana wanting to start school and the drug game because she's trying to like get away from that life too. Well, she was never fully in that life and stuff. I'm gonna be real with you.
Right.
But then temptations keep calling when it came to that drug shit. You know what I'm saying? And then she ended up dating this one fake hotep named Celine, aka You're Done. That's all I'm gonna say. What else? Fucking Tate actually won the election. This is just letting you guys know spoilers are going to be released when it came to this, so y'all should be prepared. Tate actually won the election because he's been running since original power. So
Yeah.
yeah, now he's a councilman now, and
Mhm.
then also too, they had a new connect with this lady named Norma, who was Mecca was originally working for as lieutenant, and she got mad because of the fact that Kane and them threw a party at Mecca's old penthouse or whatever.
Right.
So now it's like Tariq, Effie, Kane, and Braden working for Norma, and then they got this African nigga named Obi, who I'm not gonna hold. I'm not Obi and Norma. Obi was like the funniest nigga
He
in this
was.
whole season, but he came clutch too this season.
Right.
We're gonna talk about that more. And then you also had Tate having a new love interest with the name
Right.
of I forgot homegirl's name, but you guys remember she was Keisha Sharp. She played she was on Girlfriends.
Mhm.
I think her character's name was Monica. She had that really she had that really like big smile and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying if you
Oh,
guys see
that was the one I was working with Braylon.
no, I'm gonna get into her in a minute. I'm gonna get
Okay.
into her. But I'm talking about the new teacher after
Oh yeah.
after Milgram got quote unquote killed.
Right.
Too. That's all I'm gonna say. What else happened? And then Braden got Tariq the internship because he was originally supposed to be in Tate's internship, but
Right.
Braden wanted to. He got into the whole drug game too, and he pretty much wanted to like get Tariq and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing that shit because he realized that the whole internship with his dad's business was not really that was not him and
Right.
whatnot. He had that rush all season,
Right.
and so that's when he got acquainted with his what's his name? His uncle
Mhm.
Lucas, who Lucas used his dad's company as like a Ponzi scheme and
Right.
shit too. You know what I'm saying? So and then he also was working with this girl named Kiki. Kiki was originally part of it, and then you can pretty much say there was a love interest, but I just call it a fuck if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot. I'm just doing my best to go down. And Lauren ended up being alive. Yeah, because fucking Ronald McDonald, aka Jenny, Jenny and shit like that. She was the one that pretty much set it up to make sure that they busted Tariq down. We had Rodriguez coming back. Rodriguez from OG Power. She
Right.
was the Rosie Perez talking motherfucker and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of OG Power. He
Yeah.
had
Yeah. And Angela nephew also. I think he can be a major part for season 4.
yeah, but then this is also the season when we had couple of new faces too.
Right.
I remember Davis's brother.
Mm-hmm.
I remember how Redman played Davis's brother.
Right.
But Redman he left the show because of the whole anti-vax. From what I
Yeah.
looked,
He didn't get. Well, I don't know if he's vaccinated now. He didn't get vaccinated for the show.
yeah. So they got this other nigga. I'm not gonna hold you. I might be biased,
No.
but I did not care for his kid when that actor played. I just didn't feel a
Yeah.
chemistry.
I didn't like him either.
He was too Shakespearean
Yeah.
for
He didn't have the same chemistry that Red and Meth had.
right. You said you were gonna do good. Like even the way he was talking
Right.
got on my fucking nerves and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you had Sax, who got killed by Davis's brother because he knew that Davis was doing some shady shit,
Right.
and that's why Davis was kind of mad at Sax and shit too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Again, I know a lot has happened. I'm just doing my best to get the main points
Right.
and shit too. So just bear with me.
Sift through the bullshit.
Yeah, and so they killed Sax in the most dramatic fucking way and stuff like that too. And Method Man gave one of his best acting performances I've ever seen from him.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Meth Man. If he doesn't get an NAACP,
Right. Another one.
yeah, because I know I hate to say it, but I know Power's not gonna be recognized in the Emmys
Mm-hmm.
and shit like that too. BET Award, NAACP, whatever.
Facts.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. In my personal, I don't know what to say because man, he definitely killed that. He definitely killed that.
did his thing.
Right. And then also too, yeah, all those stupid ass Tejadas
Mm-hmm.
confronting Monet because of the fact that Sax said, well, Sax sent out the letters, but Diana's dumbass want to
Mm-hmm.
get back at Monet
Right.
for Lorenzo, aka Pappy and shit. You know what I'm saying? Pappy. That was the closest they've ever spoke Spanish in that whole fucking show.
Right.
I never got Diana maybe. No, it's not that Drew maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
they did not look like no fucking Afro Latinos in
They
that
didn't.
fucking.
They didn't look Latino at all.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Even
I,
my favorite character Zeke, nah.
yeah, that's
And
just crazy.
so they had old girl, what's her name? Old girl from New York undercover on the show
Mm-hmm.
too. You know what I'm saying?
Lauren Velez.
She played on Velez. Thank you.
Yeah.
She played like Zeke's adoptive mother. It's like they thought that that was Zeke's mom, but it ended up being Monet and shit like
Right.
that. And she got killed off because Kane made a Holocaust gas and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing too. It's like every episode somebody was dying
Right.
like that. Like not even people died. Not even in the OG power, but people died this fast and shit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like what?
And and then let's get to the controversial final episode. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I say it's controversial, because a lot of fans say this is they call foul when it gets to this final episode, which I'm gonna give my thoughts on that in a minute. I'm gonna give my thoughts, but
Right.
well, let me get to the last two episodes because for some odd reason they said at first that there was not going to be no weak jumps when it came to the season. But again, 50 Cent had issues with stars again.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody leaked the fucking episodes on like the bootleg pirated sites. And I'm not gonna hold you. I did not want to watch them because
Yeah.
every person I watched, they did this weird little screen zoom and they kept repeating scenes and stuff like that. And everyone and then it was like within an hour, everyone
Yeah.
and their mamas was just saying, "Oh my god!" They kept spoiling the finale. I was like, "God, the episode has not really fully been released. Why the fuck are y'all spoiling?" That was might
Exactly.
be the first time I got mad at spoilers, in my opinion. Because I don't mind spoilers. I tried my hardest to get away from it. Everyone on social media, niggas were making memes. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all, shut the fuck up with this shit. Oh my god.
Oh Lord.
And so, yeah, so the last episode, the last two episodes, Tommy came back because Sax sent out, well, Diana pretended to be Monet, and pretty much she tried to set Tommy up by revealing the location.
Right.
Tommy wants to go meet Tasha, and you guys should know Notori, who played Tasha, was pregnant. She gave birth recently. Congrats, shout out to her, congratulations.
Right.
So that's why she wasn't in this season as much. And Tommy had to go confront and sell the score. You got my man Two Bit, man. Two Bit done fucking traded. Tariq finally got a car, and now he's driving Tariq's car and shit like that
Mm-hmm.
too. And
Right.
Tariq still got a whip. He got like an old school whip and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? And so him and Tommy confronted one another, but then Tasha ended up knocking Tariq out just to save him,
Right.
right? And next thing you know it, Tommy's looking for Tyreek is looking for Tommy. He went over to Kate's house, Tommy's mother. Oh my! See all these OG powers. I'm like, okay, look at this,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But anyway, and so Tommy was all like, him and his Tasha settled the score because Tasha said that Lakeisha was planning on snitching on her organization. Next thing Braden had to kill his own uncle. Braden had to kill his uncle because of the fact that he made it seem look like a suicide because of the whole Ponzi scheme.
Right.
And the whole family, because the whole Tejada money was invested in that Ponzi scheme and Tyreek's trust fund
Right.
and shit too. So now Tyreek was screwed and shit. And then Braden, the whole family was like, "Oh, Braden, you say you're gonna leave this life alone." And the Braden was like, "You know what? He pretty much had a Jody moment, like he a killer just like Henry and shit. You know what I'm saying?"
Right.
So, next thing you know, Braden and Tyreek were talking, and they had like this huge ass argument,
Mm-hmm.
talking about how Braden was, you changed, and Tyreek's calling him a hypocrite. And then
Lord.
Tyreek got to get some green cards for Obi so they can get out of Norma. So he's working with Tate and everything like that, which got Tate winning the election.
Right.
But then here's the bullshit. Fucking
It's
Diana.
crazy.
Yeah, fucking Diana and
Uh-huh.
Monet. You know, Diana set up Monet so she can get shot. And Diana was all like, it was Tyreek
Right.
did this. He kind of set Drew up. Well, Kane's
Set him
dumbass. He
up.
was
Yeah.
Kane's dumbass. I'm not gonna lie. Kane had potential this whole fucking season, but he disappointed me toward the last. Once he got with Effie,
Potential for what?
Because he he was always jealous of Tyreek, but then once he knew that Lorenzo and shit like that was killing Zeke, he got power hungry and shit. And next thing you know it, go ahead. What?
Now I was saying for the thing with Kane was low key jealous of Tariq because Tariq he knew that Tariq was a street nigga. Like he didn't feel like Tariq was a street nigga, but Tariq was smart. And he envied Tariq because he was like, yo, Monet fucking with Tariq and she wanted to do business with him and not her own son. And he envied Tariq. He always envied Tariq because of that. But he would downplay it. But he knew deep down that Tariq know the streets.
Yeah. And so that came to like the final scene when Tariq about to settle the score with Norma, like having Norma's kid as a leverage thanks to Effie. But the Tejadas and Effie teamed up on Norma after, mind you, Norma kind of slashed Obi's face and shit too. Because Diana's
that seal.
Yeah. that Cuban links shit.
She gave him the seal walk.
But yeah, so then it was about to be over for Tyreek until Braden came and saved the day. It's said that he shot Kane and whatnot too, but I rewatched that several times. People say he shot Kane, people say he shot a bodyguard, but we'll find out next season. I guess, you know what I'm saying? But then they on the run now, trying to settle the score out and shit too, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much the whole season in a nutshell. Now, this season was very entertaining. I'm not gonna hold you. But it was so much going on this season that everybody was dying, certain characters that had potential, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just feel like it was doing it for sometimes shock value. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I like using good shock value. But it was just, this season was just so fast paced. Like you just had to catch yourself, say, okay, so this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. You know what I'm saying? Do I feel like it's better than the second season? That's a good question too. That's a very good, because the second season was very good. The second season, I liked how dark it was and shit too. But I definitely feel like the third season, it definitely struck a balance between crime thriller and grimy soap opera and shit too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You had a lot of character moments with Tariq, fucking Braden. You had Diana wanting to come into her own. And like I said before, Diana, I might say that she kind of disappointed me. But at the same time, her and her mom never really had a very...
She disappointed you too?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Everybody disappointed you.
Yeah, because they did my boy Tariq. Now, granted, Tariq was not an angel by any means, because Tariq was making some dumb decisions too this season as well. But he made sure the Tejadas ate.
Facts.
The Tejadas got out the RICO charge because of him. You know what I'm saying? And Kane's dumbass wanted to kidnap Lauren and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now Lauren just went out with stupid. And and Lauren ended up being the most loyal out of everybody, out of all them girls and shit.
Right.
But granted,
I always said, look, Tariq should have ended up with her.
Same. I've always said that shit too. Because Diana was just a fuck. I never killed. I'm sorry. Effie was like one of those cats you just love to hate. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, people that she got his ass kicked out of that first school in OG Power
Right.
too. People forget about that. But they always say, "Oh, Effie, ride or die." I'm just like, y'all like y'all must have not watched the original Power, but okay, all right.
Exactly. They didn't watch it.
They
They
didn't
didn't
watch
watch
it.
it.
They just new fans. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the moments between Tariq, Brayden, Diana, it was definitely for the better. I do feel like Monet and Kane remain the same. I feel like Monet, people like up in arms with Monet, but then there's Drew.
Oh Lord.
Drew.
True.
Now, before I make my thoughts, I just want to say one thing and one thing only. My thoughts on Drew is not thoughts on the whole LGBTQ community when I said this, but his character again this season has, because Drew was not like his gangster was, people slept on his gangster, but I felt like with
Right.
Drew, with Lorenzo dying and Monet using Drew, trying to use him to get at Kane, it could have been an easy contrast with how Lorenzo was trying to give Kane power after Kane was blackmailing Lorenzo.
Facts.
But
Facts.
they dropped the ball on that very quickly because now you had Drew, when he's not with the Tejadas, he's just screwing Everett, and then he's screwing Gordo. Then he's crying over Everett, and then he's crying over Gordo. It's like all this nigga does was cry and fuck. Thank you.
Right.
Crying
fuck.
Like that's all this nigga was doing this whole the second half of the season.
Yeah.
And Drew was in the first seasons. Drew was always one of my favorite characters. So in the last episode, it does not make sense. He was always the most level-headed one. It does not make sense for Drew to just quickly say Tariq did this. It did not make no sense whatsoever.
He got a couple kills in this year. He killed a boyfriend and he killed a couple of those henchmen that when him and the dad was on the stakeout or whatever.
Okay, the henchman, yeah, that was dope. But killing off Gordo,
he came to save the dad and what's his name? And Kane. Remember when they were at the hotel?
Yeah, with the boy from the wood and shit.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it does not make sense how Drew can quickly go with Diana and say, "Oh, Tariq did this." And like I said, he was the more level-headed of the Tejadas and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So it did not make fucking sense. Kane, I'm not surprised by Kane. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I said, I don't know if Drew's gonna make it past season 4. I'll be surprised. I'll be fucking surprised and shit because
I think one of them gonna die for sure. If it's not Drew, it'll be Diana.
Yeah, because Kane, he's gonna stay. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, because Diana, I feel like Diana's still gonna make it because like I said, we getting this new ruthless Diana. You know what I'm saying? So that's an interesting choice right there too. What else? I like I said, the show itself. I felt like there was this one episode. Oh, I want to mention light skin Keisha, Bonisha, whatever her character's name and shit like that. I feel I can't pronounce it. I feel like she'll play a major part in the 4th season because with Tate winning the election and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she's like the comic relief of the show. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't want her. People say that they want her and Kane together. No. I don't want her. No. What the?
How would that happen anyway?
Exactly. What Kane? What? Can we talk about Kane dressing up as a fucking lawyer and shit like that? What the fuck is it? Again, how the hell they had his fucking mugshot or whatever? How the hell did he get past security?
Exactly. How did he get in real life? He could never do that.
Like we're stretching realism at this point with some of these episodes. So
yeah, definitely.
We're stretching realism at this point. You know what
especially you a Tejada. Like I'm pretty sure they know them by face. How the
Papi.
fuck did he get into the prison perpetrating a lawyer?
Exactly.
If you have came as your lawyer, you might as well set yourself up for a long stay in jail because he
Nigga,
gonna fuck you over.
give me that Tasha's lawyer. The one
Right.
give me
The
her instead
girl,
of Kate.
the lady.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
really the best lawyer on Power was Proctor. Rest in peace, Proctor.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. Davis is good too. Davis, he's that
Yeah.
slick motherfucker shit. But yeah. Then he had a bitch ass Ronald McDonald, aka Jenny, crying, crying over fucking sex. He
Over
loved
Satman.
me.
Meanwhile, she wasn't giving him no more pussy, and she was treating him
Exactly.
cold as shit. She only used them to get the case against Tariq. But then when he dies, she's like, oh, Sax, I miss you. Oh, now you miss the nigga.
This is why they killed off Milgram for Ronald McDonald's sex. This is why they killed off Milgram and shit.
Facts.
Like, if it wasn't Drew fucking, it wasn't Drew fucking. It was. I don't want to see Sax and Ronald McDonald fuck. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that. You know how many times I fast forward, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying this because I'm just throwing shot at LGBTQ. It's just that all his character did was fuck and cry.
That's
Fuck
it.
and cry. Fuck and cry.
Man.
And then you want to be gangster and shit like that when you trying to be like, oh, so you disrespecting my this you letting this nigga disrespect our father? That's the type you want to be gangster?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my face.
Facts.
Get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
Yo, he's stupid.
Oh, please. then Salim. My man Salim. Oh.
Salim.
Oh, he was one of my favorite ones. First of all, motherfucker wanted to do that spoken word shit.
Right. That was so corny.
Now, I love me some spoken word poetry.
Yeah.
But
nigga, he ain't no Langston Hughes.
My heart is like the rose. I'm like, get this motherfucker.
he ain't no Langston Hughes, yo.
Nigga, he ain't no Most Def. He ain't no Most Def.
That nigga was stretching it. He was stretching it.
And then,
like, bro.
And then he had the fucking nerve to say, I just poured my heart out to you. Like, this is how you treat me? Like, nigga, you basically disrespect her father. What? And then come to find out, this nigga was living a different strokes lifestyle. Yeah, he was talking about the struggle, single mom struggle and shit like that.
Yep, facts.
Like, I swear to God. Let me tell y'all something. If there was two characters that entertained my ass after the passing of Zeke, it was Obi and Salim. Because those two niggas had me dying. Obi with these silly Americans. They never learn.
Oh my Lord. Sound like a real African bootlegger.
Oh, they had that first time they said, oh, Tariq's gonna rob by some Wakanda niggas now. But
Lord.
am I right about season 3? Norma was such a good character, right? Why the fuck was she only in 4 episodes?
Exactly. She was like the new main villain, and she wasn't in it often.
Because
I didn't understand that.
When she cut that cracker's fingers off and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Right. I was just intrigued. I was intrigued by it. I was like, who the fuck is this? I'm just like, okay. Yo, she the new head bitch. Okay. I was like, who the fuck is this? All right. Then episode 2, she was nowhere to be found. Episode 3, nowhere to be found. Now all of a sudden they go to fucking Italy or Rome. She comes. I'm just like, where the fuck were you at? You know what I'm saying? Because again, Obi, and even Obi too, he was only in like one scene. It looks like I'm
Uh,
over here watching you Americans today.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yo, when my African accent comes thick, it comes thick, I tell you. That's all I gotta say.
African booty
Um,
scratcher.
okay, we don't like that term. You know, Washington, we don't like that term. All right. We don't fuck with that term and shit. But
Yo.
anyway, mm, what are your I'm talking too much. Let me give me your thoughts on this, Zeke. I'm talking way too much.
Everything that you said was how I felt. It was just a lot going on. What's her name? Moma should have been in it. Noma should have been in it a lot more. Like to be the main villain, the new main villain. Like you had like last season for season 2, you had Dante was in it a lot more. You know what I'm
Menendez
saying?
brothers.
Like he was like the perceived like new villain, huh?
I said the Menendez brothers, Dante and
Yeah,
Lorenzo.
yeah, right. He was in it like almost every episode. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I didn't understand that. And then it was like the way that they started off this season. I wanted a flashback on that scene from season 2 when Lorenzo shot Zeke and what was going through his mind when all that was going on. We didn't really get that. We didn't get that flashback scene. He
Nah.
just realized that he shot the wrong person from the news. You know what I'm saying? And I really thought that Lorenzo would have gotten killed off a lot later in the season. They killed him off early.
That was another gripe too.
I didn't understand. I'm like, how the fuck y'all kill him off early in the season? Like, he should have been like in the season finale. He get
But,
killed
but
off.
Everett still lives, right? Okay.
I don't understand it. Right, and they didn't kill Everett. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It was just it was a lot going on. I'm like, yo, that I think they botched up Lorenzo killing. I don't think he should have been killed off so early.
I don't think it should have been revealed that early too. I feel like it
Yeah,
could have been like episode 7 or 8. And then if
yeah,
y'all wanted to do the week jump in that confession, it would make sense. You know what I'm
facts.
saying? Because I remember season 2, they had the iconic dinner scene where Diana exposed everybody. They had
Right,
a week. They had a week jump after that episode.
right,
That made fucking sense. And in my opinion,
exactly.
that's still to this day the best episode of Power Book 2 to date. In my
Right,
opinion, you know
facts.
what I'm saying? Because my boy Lorenzo kept saying, "Yo, what the fuck is?" He kept saying, "What the fuck?"
You know what I mean? And I it's like how did Monet? I felt like Monet was playing possum the whole time. It's like she already
Yeah,
knew. She already knew that Lorenzo killed her son. How did she already know that?
because Lorenzo
You know what I'm
told
saying? How did she know that? Like, cause we didn't. I didn't get no inkling that she knew. How did she know? Like, they didn't even show like how she knew that Lorenzo killed him.
Lorenzo told Monet that he killed Zeke.
No, but I'm saying before then, like we knew that. Like, remember when he had Kane had dirt on him. Like Kane knew.
Oh, yeah.
Remember,
Okay, now I
remember
know.
Kane knew it, and Kane was using him, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be the head of this family now." And remember when Lorenzo was when Kane and Lorenzo was around the other family members, like Drew and Diane noticed, like, yo, like Poppy acting different. Why he acting different?
Happy. You gotta
You
say
know
it
what I'm
like that.
saying? And I'm like, yo, like we knew already that Lorenzo killed Zeke. How did Monet know? Because they didn't show that. They
Now,
just
now I know
they,
what you're talking about.
you know what I'm saying? It's almost like oh yeah, I by the way, I know that you killed my son, but they didn't show how did she find out that he killed Zeke.
But we
You
have
know
to
what I'm
do.
saying? I'm like that scene needed to be shown.
But we showed why fucking Jenny had Lauren and shit like that. We have to have that scene, right? Okay. All right. Right.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like how was that scene? How did she know? We didn't see that. I wanted a scene where Monet came to the realization that it was really Lorenzo that killed Zeke, and we didn't get that scene at all. It just like came out of the blue, like, oh yeah, I know that you killed Zeke. And then she had that, she kicked out Lorenzo from out the crib. But I think that scene was needed. Like that build up to when Monet first found out, that was needed, and we didn't get that. And I thought we would have gotten that for like the weeks leading into the season finale. We never got that.
Exactly.
Instead, they killed off Lorenzo early, which I thought was a mistake. That should have been in the season finale.
Or close to the season finale.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Then
saying?
if they wanted to go that direction, it
Mm-hmm.
would make more sense for Diana to not quickly turn on Tariq and shit like that, because
Exactly,
it can all fall in place and shit. You know what I'm saying?
exactly, exactly. I feel like they botched that part of the season. Um, I felt like Effie should have gotten killed.
Oh yes,
You know what I'm saying?
please, please.
Um, because I'm like, yo, like,
Pinocchio nose looking self.
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, how is she not dead yet? You know, or at least one of them, if not Effie, then Lauren. Like, how are they both still alive?
No, Lauren can stay. Lauren can
You
stay.
want, yeah, but what do you do with Lauren's character now? Because she left with her parents. So where does that leave her in the story?
Well, she may come back. You know, Power like to bring out people like a fucking rabbit at a magician's hat and shit. So
Only way I see her come back is if like Tariq is really in trouble and he needs her help.
she was like, "I'm done with you people. You people are evil."
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yo.
what's hmm,
Lauren had the best quote. That bitch Effie. That bitch.
that bitch Effie.
That was the quotable of the whole fucking season. That bitch Effie.
That bitch Effie, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, where does that leave her? That's why I'm like, she would have been better off dead. Effie should have been killed off. Because if that was Ghost would have told Tariq, you gotta kill Effie. Even Kanan would have told him that, like, you gotta kill Effie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Ghost probably kill her himself and
Right,
shit. No.
right. You know what I mean? And it was like a lot going on for this season, yo. You know, the Ponzi scheme thing, that tied into Tariq, Tariq working at Braylon's what was it, his uncle's company or whatever.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see a different side to Braylon. He's gonna be more darker now that he killed the uncle and threw him over the balcony of the apartment. Braylon wanted out. He actually wanted out of the game, but Tariq brought him back in. Really, you know what I'm saying? Like Braylon is the MVP. Like he saved Tariq's life when they were about to when Kane was about to off him
Yeah.
in the finale, and Braylon came in and saved the day, and he back in the game because of him saving Tariq. Now where they go from there, I don't know, but I think when you see them driving off, I think they should make a cameo on Tommy's story on Force.
Mm.
And having Tommy and Tasha back, that was great. It was great to see them back, in the storyline. We haven't seen Tasha since she had took the daughter to Arizona. Well, we thought she went to Arizona in witness protection. It looked like that was either a lie or she came back without Tariq knowing. And I was surprised to see Tommy. I'm like, why was Tommy there? I was surprised to see him there. Well, I mean, what he just showed up out the blue. I'm like, Tommy, what was why is he on the show? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, unless he came back because of the Tejadas, I didn't understand why Tommy was back anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So are we gonna see like Braylon and Tariq on Force now? Are they gonna make a cameo or Tasha?
You never
You know,
know.
I think that would actually be good for both Tariq and Braylon to go to Chicago and link up with Tommy, and just until the heat dies down in New York for a minute, because now they because evil Diana is they set up Tariq into thinking that Tariq was the one that not Tariq well yeah, Tariq is the one that shot Monet. It wasn't really him. It was really Tasha that shot Monet. They don't even know that yet.
Right.
They like wait. What if they Monet finds out that it was really Tariq's mom that shot her? They're gonna be gunning after Tariq, and well, they're gonna be gunning after Tariq anyway, but they're gonna be going after Tasha. So he's
Now,
really gonna have to like defend Tasha against the Tejada family now.
honestly, once she finds out what Diana did, I feel like she's gonna
Mhm.
go more after Diana, honestly, because
Right,
Monet,
but
Monet knows
mhm.
Monet, no, Monet knows she's not gonna give it to Tariq.
Yeah, but if they should find out that it wasn't Tariq and it was his mom that did that, you don't think they're gonna go after Tasha?
Mm, maybe,
You know what I'm
maybe
saying?
not.
Because Diana had somebody else in mind that it was they planned the whole thing, wasn't it? It was somebody else that was supposed to shoot at Monet or whatever,
Yeah,
and it wasn't Tariq. Tariq was actually there, but it wasn't him that was doing the shooting, but it was his mother, and he know that. So I think he would, and he don't even know where Tasha is at. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how they're gonna play it out, but you know what I'm saying. They that can go two or three ways. But I thought it was a good season. I think like I said, I think Braylon was the MVP. You know, and I love the different names that Kane had for Braylon. Like one week he would call him Justin Bieber. Next week it would call him a name for somebody. He always had like a white boy term for him.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, right? He called him Taylor Swift one week, and it was funny. You know,
That means you a nigga now.
right? you know, and I was surprised that they killed Sax. I thought Sax. I didn't expect Sax to get killed because we're so accustomed to seeing him, and he was always that one that got away, and he lived. And I was surprised that they actually decided to kill him off for good this time. You
Sax
know,
lives.
huh? He lives through his those letters. He did some eerie shit. Like it's almost like he knew he was gonna die.
I was
You
like,
know what I'm
even
saying? Like
Brown.
he wrote a letter to like everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then like leaving the computer what do you call it? Like leaving the piece to go in the what do you call that that thing
Flash drive.
for the flash drive? Leaving the flash drive for Angela's nephew to see. We don't know what's on that flash drive. Now people are saying that on the flash drive it could be footage of Tariq killing Ghost or saying that he killed Ghost. I don't know how who would have that footage. But how did Sax get that footage? Was he there that night that Ghost died?
I think maybe his little niece or whatever.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, the
I don't,
niece. That's right. The niece was going to the school that Tariq was going to.
yeah.
But how would she get was did Tariq tell her?
No, because she was in the grave. I think the graveyard, and she videotaped him and showed it
That's
to
right.
Sax.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't see his niece. We didn't see his niece. His niece got kicked out of school though, right?
I think she broke up with Braden. Well,
Right,
Braden broke up with her after the grimy shit
right.
that she
And
was doing.
we didn't see her after that. I forgot about that. So that could be hard. Cause I'm like, I think Sax came to the where Ghost had gotten killed at. Sax came later though. He didn't. I don't think he was there the same time that Tariq was there when he shot Ghost. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what is on that flash drive? It could be anything. You know what I mean? So Sax was like doing his dirt from beyond the grave. I'm like, yo, this nigga is still. This remind me of Ghost. Ghost was doing shit like that. You know
Little
what I'm
nigga.
saying? And I was surprised that he died. And like I said, like I didn't care for the switch from Redman to this other dude playing what's his name's brother.
Method Man.
Uh not I forgot his character name though.
Davis.
Davis brother. Yeah, like I didn't care for that switch. I thought Redman he if he don't have his vaccine shot, he needs to get it. That's just crazy. You know
Well,
what I'm
his
saying? He should
character,
have had huh?
his character is dead now, so sure.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like he could have. If he had gotten the vaccine, he could have. He could have. I wanted him to come back as the brother, but we didn't get that. And you know, they already have like they're already shooting. Well, I know they was shooting season 4, but I think they had to stop because of the writer strike.
Yeah, I heard about that shit. That's stupid.
So yeah, cause like I told you, like they was shooting season 4 around my way. A couple of like a month ago or whatever before the writer strike. So I don't know what scene that's gonna be where they actually in Brooklyn and they already had a scene online with Monet, a scene with Monet and I think it was Davis. So Monet lives. So we know
Yeah,
that.
I know. Oh yeah, of course
I,
you gonna
I
live.
didn't I didn't believe she was gonna that like people were saying that they gonna kill her off. I'm like, they're not killing her off.
They ain't gonna kill off
They
MJB.
will kill off all her kids before they kill Monet off. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they already had that scene is out there already. It's like by the river or something. So, um,
Ealy's crazy asses. Yeah.
huh?
You know Michael Ealy's gonna be in the season too, his crazy ass.
Cool.
Michael Ealy.
Oh yeah, Michael Ealy. Right. He playing a detective or something.
Yeah, and so you go, you know Mike Ealy always goes crazy and he
Yeah. So
yo,
he
yo,
gonna probably be going after Tariq and the Tyler family or something, and something will happen with his character that we'll find out about whenever season 4 comes. And I'm looking forward to Force with Tommy. That's September.
oh yeah.
And
I just hope
mm,
go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, I was saying I believe Kanan season what is it? We're up to season 2 now, right?
Season 3 for Kanan.
Season 3 for Kanan is gonna be in the summertime, so that's gonna be before Force.
Are you sure? Don't play with my emotions.
Yeah, I want to say it's either July or August for Ken. I mean unless they change the schedule, because that season already done. So
Don't play with my emotions
I,
right
I
now,
want
bro.
to that season been filmed. So I want to say that's gonna be July or August for season 3 of Kanan, and then September is Force.
Don't play with my emotions like I said before. So.
Yeah, unless they change the schedule. Like last time I heard, it was supposed to be August. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but that season been done already. You know what I mean? They're not giving. Remember, they're not giving Tate his own chapter.
That sucks though.
Like they canceled that. So I didn't think he needed his own chapter anyway. I'm like, for what is he gonna do?
Nah, give my nigga Tate some love, yo.
But
Shit.
he already involved in book 2. So it's like he don't need his own chapter for what? I wanted a chapter with Angela and Ghost, like the early years, like when they first met. You know what I'm saying? Like when they first met and they all, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like Angela knew Kanan and Tommy though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when they all first met in school or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted. They need to have like a Ghost prequel for him and for him and
Angie,
Angela. Like I didn't care for Tate.
Angie from the block, boy.
Yeah, Angie Jenny from the block. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I think we're gonna get that at the end of Kanan's chapter. Like we're gonna see when he meets Ghost and Tommy and Tasha, and I think we're gonna get that at some point. Whenever that his chapter ends, I think we're gonna get that scene. But yeah, I didn't. Yeah, supposedly supposed to be either July, August for Kanan season 3.
All right, I'll be on the lookout.
There's a lot of shows that got pushed back because of this
Stupid ass rock.
writer strike. The writer strike, and you know,
They
then
also
you got the actors. The actors are going on strike right after that.
oh
So
don't Get the fuck out.
Yeah, it's the writer and actor strike. The actors are striking soon, I believe. So, um, who knows when this shit go? They picked the wrong time to start striking. Y'all should have been striking during COVID.
Y'all should be striking in this Oscar so white shit.
Right. Don't strike now when we coming out of COVID and then we ain't gonna have shit to watch when we had everything to watch during COVID. They doing it backwards.
But I was thinking though, since we're investing power, I was thinking about rewatching some of the OG series and doing season breakdowns of that.
Yeah, like during the strike, because I mean, depending on how long the strike go, if the riders are still striking by the end of the year, and then they going into the active strike, it's gonna be a minute before you get anything new.
They already scheduled the Abbott Elementary reruns,
Right?
4-hour reruns. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
hell,
because they haven't shot anything. So by the time September come and they still on strike and there's nothing new to watch. Yeah, we might have to go back and do like a review of the old Power series.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hopefully they get it. It all comes down to money anyway. So hopefully they, figure out some. This shit remind me of like what happens in sports. This is the shit I'm accustomed to seeing in like NBA have lockouts and Major League Baseball. This is the shit I'm accustomed to seeing. I'm not accustomed to seeing this shit in entertainment.
Yeah, because remember they had that actor strike back in 1980.
Right.
And that writer strike back in 88 and shit. Then of course the infamous writer strike back in 07.
Right.
That shit almost brought television
They
down.
had the strike in was it 94?
They did? Oh wow.
That was the reason. Remember, that was the reason that Eddie got killed off of New York Undercover.
Oh yeah,
he was a part of that strike. Yeah, he was like a part of the writer's strike or whatever, the actor strike, and then they decided to kill his ass off. And that was the end of that show.
Yeah, Tommy couldn't save it.
So supposedly, I heard that what's his name? Ryan Reynolds is a part of that strike too. He's a part of the writer's strike because he's the one that's writing Deadpool also. Like he's starring in Deadpool and he's writing it with other writers. So he's a part of that strike also. So that affects him. That like a lot of those actors that if they're writing stuff that they're a part of, they're gonna be a part like doing double picket lines and shit, I guess. You know what I mean? So that shit's fucked up.
Interesting.
Yep.
What time is it? 2:07. I'm gonna stay on for like another 5 more minutes, 5, 7.
Yeah, that's so. Hopefully they end that shit really soon. Cause there's shows that you got the final season of Stranger Things that's at a halt because of the strike. So they're gonna end up shooting that late, and it's bad enough that should take like a whole damn year for them to come back. And there's a lot of shows that I like that I watch that is gonna be delayed because of this strike.
Stupid Americans,
including season 4 of Book2. So that's gonna be delayed also. Well, the good thing about it is they already started shooting it. I don't know how far they are into the season when they stop, but hopefully it should end soon.
And plus, 50 Cent about to go on tour and
right.
shit. So that's also
right. Yeah. So what happens with his shows while he's on tour?
He probably finishes before he goes on tour. 50's always a hard working machine and shit.
Right. But or they could start up while he's on tour. The strike could end and he could be on tour and then everything start up again.
Right.
So I don't know. I saw 50 in concert. He definitely is dope to see live. He did a lot of his hits. I didn't see him with G Unit though. It was just him by himself. He had like the dancers with him. He had some female dancers with him. But I hope at some point he get back with G Unit with Banks and Yayo. But I think Yayo is his hype man now. But I would like to see Banks get all three of them get back. I mean, cause that is G Unit to me. Like they all grew up together. That is before they bought Young Buck and the Game and Kid and all these other people in the crew. It was 50 Yayo and Banks, and that's the original G Unit to me. You know, I definitely would like to see him and Banks squash that beef, whatever the hell they got going on. You know, Sam said, I get money or window shopper. I get money.
Window shopper.
Window shopper was dope. I like the remix with Mace as well. That was dope. But
I like I like the mixtape version.
the mixtape version.
Yeah, where he's like mentioning rappers by name, like Ja, use a window shopper.
Right, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that version ain't on the soundtrack.
Nah, it was on a mixtape because I was trying to look
Yeah,
for that for years.
I remember that shit.
Cause I thought I was dreaming about this shit. I was like, I know I heard a
Yeah,
different version of this.
yeah. I wonder why they didn't put that on the soundtrack. Because he put out I Smell Pussy, and that's clearly aimed at Murder Inc.
Cause him and Jada squashed their beef too. So I don't know. Cause
Mm,
maybe it was a label thing. You
yeah.
never know.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cause wasn't Jada under Interscope at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rough Riders. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I Get Money that was like the biggest hit of was what, '07? That was the biggest hit of '07.
I get money.
The album wasn't as great, but that's the biggest hit off of that off of Curtis. You
Yo,
know,
back in 07, 50 was beefing with everybody back in
he
07.
was. It was Fat
He
Joe.
was.
It was
Oh,
Jadakiss, Locks, Puffy. He still beef with Puffy.
Jizza.
He had beef with the Jizza?
Yeah.
Over what?
I mean, 50 and Wu Tang always had a beef with one
Oh,
another, but I think 50 called Jizza Dusty or some shit.
oh
Some
wow.
some shit like that. And
He had
Jizza
beef
came
with
out with
a
that.
lot of people. A lot
Jizza
of
came
people.
out with that classic diss track, Paper Plates
Right.
or Paper Planes, whatever.
He had beef with. I don't know if he had beef. He threw a shot at Ti on the second G Unit album.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit.
Yeah, but I don't think Ti will responded back then, which was smart.
Cause he had his gun, he had his whole gun shit he was dealing with. He was
Right,
going to jail and shit.
right. Yeah, he threw some subliminals at Ti. Remember that shit? Um, he was beefing with a lot of people, man. A lot of people, and still live to tell about it. You
That's
got
one thing.
Curtis over Graduation? Fuck no.
You crazy.
Fuck no. Graduation. Kanye West won that battle, album for album. And the thing is, I was picking 50 to beat Kanye. Cause I was like, yo, I Get Money is out. It's gonna be the album gonna be fire. And I bought that album the same day it came out. I was like disappointed in that album. That album is nowhere near fucking with Graduation. You know what I'm saying? Graduation was a classic. Like Crazy Kanye or not, that is a classic Kanye West album.
That was like the first hip hop album I actually got. One of the first hip hop albums.
Graduation? Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's dope. Even the album cover is better. I like the Graduation album cover with the beer. That's a better album cover than that Curtis album.
50 just looked frustrated.
Yeah, like pulling his hair, and I'm like, come on, man.
He was about to self-destruct on that album cover. No pun
For
intended.
real.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like it had some joints, but like some of those songs, the problem, the main issue I had with Curtis, it was too many collabs, too many R&B collabs on there.
I agree.
Why do you have Justin Timberlake and Robin Thicke on the same album? It's not needed.
And that's your boy. That's
And I
your
love
boy.
both of those out. I love both of those artists, but for they on the same album, and then you got Akon, and then you got Mary J. There's way too many R&B joints on there.
Like, where was Bobby Caldwell at, yo? Shit.
You know what I'm saying? Way too many. And you know what I'm saying? And I didn't think the production was great compared to the Massacre. Massacre was a masterpiece to me.
Yeah, that album grew on me in recent years.
You know what I mean? Get Rich or Die. He had three classics. You got Power the Dollar, Get Rich or Die Trying, and the Massacre. And then you come with Curtis. And I just think the biggest song off of that was I Get Money. People remember that song. Everything else they didn't. It's like they didn't even promote that shit. The Amusement Park, trash. What's the joint? Straight to the Bank.
I like
That was like a teaser joint.
Ha ha. I'm
You know what I'm
laughing.
saying? I didn't care for none of those other singles. Like I Get Money is like the biggest song off of that album. Even when I hear like Ayo Technology, it sounds outdated. It sounds like some shit that came out in the mid 2000s. It don't sound like nothing that's still fresh.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And that to me was like the start of his downfall. Like, cause when I heard he had the issues with Interscope, and then like they pushed back, they kept pushing back before I saw Destruct, and I didn't like that album when that came out.
That's a different animal.
You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like he dropped the mixtape album in between that, right?
Yeah.
The what's that shit? The was it War something? I forgot the name of that shit.
War Angel.
War Angel. That was a good a mixtape album. He should have dropped that instead. That was a good mixtape album. I enjoyed that. War Angel, and even when he was dropping those albums, like he was still dropping like some dope mixtapes. He had the Big Ten mixtape that was fire. The Street King Immortal mixtape that was fire. He was still on his mixtape shit, but those albums I didn't like Curtis, and I didn't like before I saw Destruct, and then Animal Ambition that was bad too.
That has some joints though.
Like that one. The only song
some joints.
Only song I remember was the joint with with Prodigy was on that joint. It was a joint with Prodigy, and or was it Jadakiss? It was somebody. I think it was one of them on that album, and it was another song. It was like only two songs I remember, but I didn't like that album. The second G Unit album, it wasn't great either. It might be like 3 or 4 songs that I really enjoyed off of that, and I don't think that was a great second album compared to the first one. But I just felt like he wasn't into it no more. Like his mind was already in Hollywood. He was doing movies with Bruce Willis and with Robert De Niro. You know what I'm saying, and Russell Crowe, and his foot was already in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I felt like this is like the decline of film musically, but you're gonna make a name for yourself again with television, and that's what he's done. You know what I'm saying? Now supposedly he's been talking about doing a new album. I kept hearing about Street King Immortal. Even up to last year, he was talking about he's dropping Street. He's never dropping that album.
He's working on a new album with Dr. Dre.
Yeah, but he's been saying that for the last couple of years, and then even when he was on I forgot what talk show it was last year, he was still talking about dropping Street King Immortal. I'm like, bro, you're never dropping that album. By the time you drop it, nobody's gonna care.
Yeah,
that shit is like 15 years old already. Like Detox, nobody's gonna care.
We're gonna get that Detox Sessions and shit. That's what
I don't want to hear that album at this point. It's like keep that in the vault. Keep that Street King Immortal album in the vault, because it's not going to be good. You know what I'm saying? And you know how Dr. Dre is. Dr. Dre is the king of trolling people and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm dropping this," and he's never dropping none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen you ever saw the interview with Joel Santana and AJ Vlad?
I saw bits and pieces.
He was talking about when Dipset was working with. You remember when Dipset was working with Dre and they did songs with Dre? That's never coming out.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, they were doing, because supposedly when they had got back together, they had signed with Interscope, and they were, I don't know if it was going to be a full album or EP, but supposedly they did songs with Dr. Dre that Dre has. That's never coming out. That's never coming out. Just like Detox, that's never coming out. The Helter Skelter album with Ice Cube is never coming out. You know, the Kingdom Come album that he did for King T, they had to release that on vinyl of a couple months ago. They released that actually after all these years.
I remember hearing that album a while back ago.
I heard that album online back in the year, back like years ago. But they actually released it on vinyl, but it wasn't by the record label. I think it was by Get On Down that released that.
Yeah, Get On Down.
Yeah, so they had the rights to that album and they released it on vinyl because Interscope was never releasing that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they gotta tap Dr. Dre like, yo, give us the Detox session so we can release it on vinyl finally, because that's never gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? Just like every other thing he's done. Remember he was doing shit with Nas after King's Disease 1 came out?
Yeah.
They had a video of Nas and Dre in the studio working on songs, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's doing the Firm reunion." That's never coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could make a whole list of all the planned albums that Dre had to come out. It's never coming out. You know, the Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre album that we heard about last year that was supposed to drop in November. That's never coming out.
Hell, you can even say Dre's beats for the Dogfather. You can even say that.
Right. Oh, he had beats for the Dogfather?
Yeah, but remember when he left Death Row, he took all them shits.
Oh,
Or
I
he
didn't know.
no,
I
actually
didn't, I
no,
didn't know
no.
he was.
He had to give up his right to Suge just to leave.
I didn't know he was
He was
working on Dogfather. I thought he had left at like before that album was being made.
nah, he was working on shit for Dogfather
Oh
too.
shit! Damn. Now, see, that would have been a classic if we had Dre on that shit. Definitely. Yeah, none of that shit is coming out, man. At this point, it's like I don't even when people say they did shit with Dre, I don't even like believe what the shit that they be saying. I'm like, okay, so
It's
what I
like
mean, it ain't coming out. You know, he has a history of doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? LL Cool J last week he did some interview and he said, "Oh, Dr. Dre worked on a new album, and then he didn't like what he was hearing, so he hit Q-Tip up. So you had a whole Dr. Dre LL album that was produced by Dre, and we never gonna hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? And if LL comes on the radio and says he didn't like the beats that he was hearing from Dre, what does that tell you? He ain't got it anymore.
and that's crazy because I love that Dre song he did with LL Zoom. I love
Yeah,
that song.
the original, yeah, but you see, but I like that. But you know, Snoop had that shit though.
Yeah,
Snoop did it first, but I actually like the LL version better. But
same.
if LL is coming out and saying he did like 30 records with Dre and he didn't like it, that should tell people something. Maybe Dre ain't got it no more. Maybe he
I mean,
fell apart with his
the
beats.
shit he did with Anderson Paak though, that was good for Oxnard.
Let's see, I didn't like that shit though. I didn't like the production of Oxnard.
Oh, you a bugging.
Did not like that shit.
You a
Except for the one song. The one song, ironically, the one song that he did on that album is the song that Snoop was on.
that's my favorite song on the album.
Yes, that sounds like something from the Chronic era.
How
I
can
like
you
that
not?
song, but
How can you not like
that
the
that other those other beats because those other beats he had was like some futuristic shit. It didn't sound like no Chronic shit on there.
It doesn't have to sound like no Chronic shit.
But it, like even not even Chronic, but like 2000s Dre, like when he was doing shit for Eminem and for the Game and Bishop. Remember Bishop Lamont? That's
Yeah.
another album that never came out. You know what I'm saying? Like that 2000s Drake, it didn't sound like 2000s Drake. It sounded like he was trying to do shit like what Hit Boy and Metro Boomin's doing. He ain't them.
Hell, Rakim supposed to have an album, but they got
Right,
a dis-
exactly. We'll never hear that because Rakim and him supposedly they didn't mesh well in the studio, and then people were saying Rakim can't do hooks. He's not that type of artist. He was never that type of artist. You want
honestly.
somebody to do hooks? Fuck, Nate Dogg was still alive.
Legend has it that some of the beats for Get Rich or Die Trying was supposed to be for Rakim.
Yes, I did hear that. Yeah, I think he passed up on in the club.
Thank God.
He passed up on that beat, and then he went to D12, and they couldn't have made that shit no hit.
Yeah, I cannot hear Rakim on in the club. I'm sorry.
I can hear him on there as a feature, but not a whole song. As a feature. Yeah, I mean, cause like he was on the Truth Hurts joint, like, and I couldn't hear him on that for a whole full song.
That Truth Hurts album, that might be some of the best R&B Dre has ever done.
I still like the stuff he did for Mary, though. Family Affair.
No, not even arguing.
Huh?
I'm not arguing about that either.
And the other shit he did for her, it's a rap. I think he did that. He did another drink for Mary. I forgot the other drink, but yeah, and even with that, they were when they did the Super Bowl halftime show, they were saying that him and Mary's doing the album. That shit is never coming out. Trust me, it's never coming out. I'll put money on that. Back in the 90s when she was managed by Suge Knight, that's when she should have did an album with Drake. Kick Puffy to the curb after My Life, then she could have did an album with Drake. But now I don't see that shit happening. He not if LL Cool J said he ain't fucking with Dre's shit, what does that tell people? You know what I'm saying? That's maybe people should realize finally, like, yo, maybe Dre did fall off like Swiss Beats and shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he did fall off like the RZA, you know, and Just Blaze. It ain't only Dre that fell off with production wise. There's a lot of them that fell off.
Yeah.
You know, Primo. When the last time you heard anything bang from Primo?
I hate to say it, I kind of that EP
Yeah.
he recently came out with. I was not a fan of. I'm going.
I noticed it when I want to say like when he was doing that shit with Westside Gun, and they were hyping it up like, oh, this is big. I'm like, yo, this is our average Primo beat. Y'all just
I
hype
like that.
they just hype because it was Primo. Like, yo, like a lot of these new artists when they be bragging about how, like, if you look at like an artist like Russ, like Russ came out with Chomp, the Chomp 1 and 2, and he had all these producers, Static Selector and Ninth Wonder. They just happy to be even in the same fucking room with these producers because they're not giving them they best shit. They Primo's best shit went to Nas and it went to Jay and J. Rue and Bahamadia, MOP, OC. Like his best shit is not, he's not putting out his best shit no more. But because of that nostalgia, you get that nostalgia, you know, saying that, oh, I got a beat from Primo and I got a beat from Pete Rock. They're not giving you their best shit no more. Let's be honest with that. Let's be honest about that.
I like Pete Rock shit now. Honestly, over
Nah, there's some shit like that album we did with Skazu. I did not like.
You are lying.
Did
Get
not
out.
like the Retropolitan. I didn't like the production.
Get out of here.
I'm dead serious.
Get
I
out of
listened
here.
to that more than once. Look, Pete Rock is my favorite producer all time, him and Primo. But they are not dropping their best shit no more. You know what I'm saying? The hip hop heads are not gonna come out and say that shit. Because they want to live in the moment, and everything's about a moment in time and shit. But we niggas gotta be honest, they're not bringing out their best shit no more. They not. Hit Boy did 4 albums with Nas. You know what I'm saying? Hit Boy did 4 albums with Nas. Who would have thought? We thought like when King's Disease came out, that would have been the only album he did with Nas. He came out with 4 albums with Nas. And he got bangers with Nas already, bro. You know what I'm saying? Alchemist been out for what, 20 years? He's still bringing out heat. He did a whole album with Larry June. Did anybody hear it? Best rap album of the year right now, in my opinion. Larry June and the Alchemist, The Great Escape.
I might check that out.
That is a solid album. Slum Village is on that album. You got Wiz Khalifa, Big Sean, who I can't stand. Big Sean even sounds good over Alchemist beat.
You're not even selling me right now. You said Wiz.
I'm trying to sell you the album. Yo, Big Sean, who I always felt like he was like the Midwest version of Fabulous. I've been in group chats and motherfuckers sit there and say that Big Sean is better than Common. Where?
They are bullshitting.
Where?
Where's Big Sean's One Day It'll Make Sense?
You don't have not one classic that's fucking with Common. Sorry, you don't. And this is not an East Coast thing because they both from the Midwest. I've always been a fan of Common. You know what I'm saying? Big Sean, who I can't stand, sounds good on the Alchemist beat. Is on that album. Joey Badass is on that album. That album is the best rap album of the year right now. Alchemist is still bringing the heat in after 20 years, and we still talking about Primo and Pete Rock. Niggas got to be honest with themselves. They're not bringing that classic shit like they used to.
Oh yeah, the next episode of Biggie's that lineup that's tomorrow too.
Yeah. We definitely gonna do a whole review on those episodes. I want to.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like that last Gangstar album. That last Gangstar album was not great. It was not great. And you know what I'm saying? I love Guru. Rest in peace. Love Gangstar. But that last Gangstar album was not a classic album.
We're not gonna do that right now.
We're not gonna do that. I am the truest music head.
We're not just
hip hop fan.
I like it.
At the end of the day, it's not just about hip hop for me. I'm listening to it as a music lover and a music fan of sound and this culture. The Gangstar album was decent. It was not a great Gangstar album.
It was good, not great.
It was not a great gang. To me, it wouldn't even make my top 5 gangster albums all time.
Me neither.
For
But it's
me,
still a good album.
I just thought it was decent. Yeah, I don't think it was great. I don't think his beats were great on that album.
Well, you gotta remember some of them shits he didn't have a chance to get because of whole Solar. Solar had ownership of some of that shit.
Yeah, but he managed to get Guru's vocals. Even if that's the case, I know Primo got a vault. You know what I'm saying? He has a vault. You see the YouTube series he does with So What's Up. He has a vault of probably unused beats and shit. You know what I'm saying? Why not tap into those 92, 93 gangsta beats? You know, beats that people passed up on. You know what I'm saying? Devil's Pie is a prime example. That beat was for Cannabis, and he passed up on it. D'Angelo got that beat. No, that guy. No, Cannabis should have had that beat because he would have had a classic record. Because he damn sure don't have a classic album.
I'm just not a big Cannabis fan. I feel like he's slightly overrated.
Cannabis is an ill lyricist. He just never had that classic production to go with his lyricism. You know what I'm saying? Like 2000 BC to me is his best shit ever. You know, there's people that love My Club. I didn't hear My Club. I don't know how good it is compared to 2000 BC, but you know what I'm saying? He passed up on that beat and it went to D'Angelo, and D'Angelo made it a classic record from a classic album.
He like an
R&B. You know what I'm saying? Like I know Primo have a vault somewhere. It's like, come on, man. You got it there. The same way Pete Rock is doing all these instrumental albums, and he's like putting beats from like the Mecca and the Soul Brother era. Why he's not using those beats on the new artists that he does albums with? You know what I'm saying? There's 2 albums that he did in for like new artists that I didn't like. I was not a fan of that Sky Zoo album, and the album he did with Flea Lord. Was not a fan of that shit.
I didn't hear that.
Nothing memorable on those albums to me. You ever heard that album he did with Flea Lord?
Nah.
I was not a fan of that shit. Very disappointed in that. Now he has collabo albums that were great, like the album he did with Smith & Wesson, Monumental. Love that album. The album he did with Smoke DZA, Don't Smoke Rock. Love that album.
Classic.
You know, the Camp Low album, 80 Blocks from Tiffany's 1 and 2, great projects. But he has some shit. He has some shit I didn't like.
Yeah. But listen, bro, I'm actually gonna end up this video because I don't want to waste a lot of your minutes because
it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. But we're gonna have a few announcements on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. We're gonna do I gotta pull up the album right quick. We're gonna do this one. Can't wait for this.
I don't have that one.
You don't have this one? Wow.
Nah, I never bought. I had bought the single back in the day for Fantasy, the remix. I had bought that, but I never bought the album.
Oh, it's all good. But yeah, definitely, this is one I can't wait to talk about. I've done a review on this years ago. I'm gonna do a re-review, you know, with the whole posse, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Wednesday, I think Wednesday I said it was Naughty by Nature's 1919 Fury.
Yes, 1999.
Yep, 1999. Let me pull up my list right quick. You got the text I sent you, right?
Yeah, and then you said Thursday is Bob Marley.
Thursday is Bob Marley, Catch a Fire.
Oh boy.
Yes.
We actually have a week of albums that I actually like. There's nothing whack on there. Well, I can't speak for Reg, but for me, it's a good one.
I have some thoughts on Naughty by Nature, and
that might be the only one that's gonna be. We'll see.
Actually, we're doing Capadonna's the yin and the yang. I'm gonna hit the base tonight.
I spoke too soon. Capadonna's on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm also doing a vinyl recap on Saturday too.
What time are you doing that?
I want to say 6 o'clock because I work night audit this weekend.
I might be out though. I might be out on Saturday.
Oh shit!
I don't know. Wait, I gotta see. But,
let me know about Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, because if possible, because I know I want to get Ashley for the butterfly review because that's one of her favorites. If not Saturday, then Sunday.
We haven't had Ashley hasn't been on my channel since the Lauryn Hill review.
Yeah.
That was like what, like 2 years ago during COVID. So
Yep.
yeah, got
Oh,
to
yeah.
have him back on.
Yeah. Shout out to Ash, by the way.
Yes.
Alrighty. But yeah, man, I'm actually about to take a shower because it's already 2:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
and I'm not really gonna go to sleep anytime soon because I'm
Yeah.
off.
Me neither. I'll be up.
I'm gonna hit up Mike and shit like that because we got some shit to talk about too.
All right. Oh
So
boy. What y'all do? Some soap opera shit?
nah, we just had to talk about some shit, some random
Oh,
shit.
I wanted to say, I'm like, dude, don't get banned again, yo.
No, I don't go live. I don't go live with that shit. I
Right.
don't go live with that shit because
All right.
motherfuckers on my ass and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But yeah, appreciate this, bro. As usual,
Yes.
I will hit you up.
All
We're
right.
gonna talk about Daydream Tuesday.
Okay.
Hope everyone has a good night.
All right.
Peace.
Peace. Peace out, Sam.